if we knew a single thing about it. I mean, it's a decade after the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, and GTA Online is still clearing $500 million every year.
We're back.
How the hell
Finally.
do you follow that? And
There's gonna be some POE 2 stuff on this PC Gamer Most Wanted show, so we might as well catch the end of that.
Number 13, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is 13 on this list? Seriously?
What's up, guys? My name is S-Fand, and
are they sure they know what they're doing?
Guys, how incredibly excited I am for Grand Theft Auto 6.
My personal
I would have thought this was
PC
one
gaming show most
easily.
wanted has to be Grand Theft Auto 6 because at this point it has been about 10 years.
10 years since Grand Theft Auto 5.
Easily.
Storylines are always absolutely fantastic.
It's one of the greatest video game franchises of all time.
I'm excited to dive into a new immersive world, new cities, new surroundings.
Just the amount of things that you can do in this open world sandbox, and whether you just want to screw around.
Rockstar recently acquired CFX, which is the company that own 5M, and that is where NoPixel is hosted, and NoPixel is one of my favorite GTA roleplay servers.
I hope you guys are excited as I am. I think Rockstar has a lot of hype around it right now.
And very excited to see what it holds.
I hope you guys enjoy it when the game comes out.
Okay, neat. I guess that's why they didn't put it higher, because there's not much really to talk about. That's why the Game Awards are going to be so amazing this year. There's going to be so many big announcements. There's going to be more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stuff. Grand Theft Auto 6. Cyberpunk mining game. Or steampunk, that's what I meant to say. Cyberpunk would have been a whole different thing. Oh, is this PAX Day or whatever it's called? I love like survival building games. But there's so many coming out in the near future. Oh, it's a different one. Bellray.
Top of the Crown's Tyranny in Bellwright, coming to early access in December. Our next game rounds out a killer combo of high-profile fighting games that have hit PC in the last year. Ready? Fight!
Wait, what is this?
Number 12, Tekken 8.
Oh, yeah, duh.
It's been more than 6 years since Tekken last entered the ring on PC, and we're more than ready for a
Feels like it's been
rematch.
longer since
With
Tekken 7
revised
went out.
fighting
Feels like it's been like
mechanics
8 years.
going all in on aggression and 32 characters to try before you settle on the guy with the leopard head. Tekken 8 weighs in right in the middle of our most wanted list.
We're moving forward in our rankings with a sequel to a Metroidvania favorite. We're talking, of course, about Hollow Knight's Silk Song.
Oh, hey, Frankie. I think you could use a little backup on this one.
Hi, Sean. How did you do that?
Well, you know, it's PC Gaming Show tradition to have us, like, orbiting in a space frigate or in an underground facility, so, you know, I just started calling around.
You video called a World War II bunker?
I did. My powers are great, and so is my excitement for Hollow Knight Silksong.
Number 11. Hollow Knight Silksong.
I never ended up beating this game. I think I only played it for like 3 or 4 hours. I liked it, I just for some reason. I think it's because I just played through Salt and Sanctuary, just another Metroidvania game.
I adore the original Hollow Knight art
So it's
style,
kind of
and they're
burnt out
giving
on
me
the
more,
genre.
but elevating it with more detail and layering. 2. Combat in motion. The original Hollow Knight somehow was able to blend super fast, snappy movement with slow, chunky Souls-like combat. And if you look at the Silksong trailer, you're seeing all sorts of new moves that allow you to dance around your enemies and jump around the environment. It makes me really excited for the second-to-second experience. But the third and the biggest reason is exploration. Team Cherry are masters of this. There would be a ledge in the original Hollow Knight, but when I finally was able to get there would be hours of content behind there, or new bosses, or new enemies, or entirely new zones. And it's that exact combination of a beautiful game that's fun and second-to-second gameplay that rewards my exploration. Oh, I literally can't wait for Silksong.
Thanks for your Silksong expertise, Sean. What began as a spin-off expansion to Team Cherry's beloved Metroidvania is now one of our most sought-after sequels, assuming it leaves hiding someday. Before we move forward with more previews, we want your input, and we're offering a PC-sized reward. Follow the QR code on screen and complete our PC Gaming Show viewer survey, and you could win a custom-built AC Mirage gaming PC powered by an Intel Core i9-14900K CPU. And now, a world premiere.
Two people have been reported missing. A male and a female were last seen heading to the forest 2 days ago.
A teen has not been seen since September 24th. We had a chance to speak with the mother.
It's been 3 years since he's been missing.
There are a lot of rumors about the lake. Do you personally believe that there's something sinister hiding in there? No, of course not. People love ghost stories, but in the end, they're just stories. Just stories. Just stories. Just stories. Just stories. Just stories.
Our Lady of the Drowned Lake. Let me guess, a battlefield lake. Man, all these games are starting to look so generic and cookie cutter. Gray Zone, Warfare.
We're nearing the heavy hitters, selected by our panel of industry experts as their top 10 most wanted games. But first, a fresh look at the gun-fu gameplay of Spine.
Redline, as your combat AI, I have to warn you that pressing the wrong
Oh,
floor may
sold.
lead to unexpected consequences.
Hot chick protagonist.
Who the fuck are you?
Already simping. Seemed a little excessive. Oh god, the combat looks terrible, the shooting. It's clear they want you to do more shit like this and not use the gun as much.
Bringing cinematic action choreography, Spine is coming soon to PC. We're just minutes away from starting our top 10 countdown. And make sure you stick around all the way to the #1 game on our list to see some exclusive gameplay footage. But before that, here's a message from our friends at PC Game Pass.
Oh, but they're gonna say grinding your games. So this is an ad. Let me add something real quick.
For its first post-Destiny release, Bungie's taking a walk back through time for our first entry in the Most Wanted Top 10. Wielding 30 years of sharpened shooter design, the studio is busy carving a new extraction shooter from the series
There we
that
go,
paved
pretty.
the way for Halo. So far, we haven't seen much of Marathon, but its mix of rampant AIs, mysterious alien precursors, unknowable space entities, and high-saturation clone firefights are more than enough to earn slot number 10. Here's a special message from the studio.
Number 10. Marathon.
Oh shit. I forgot how like colorful
Hello,
this
I'm
game
Christopher
is.
Barrett, franchise game director on Marathon. We're incredibly humbled by the reception Marathon has received since its announcement earlier this year. Being voted one of the most anticipated games on PC is an honor which absolutely motivates everyone on the project. The whole team's hard at work right now, building Bungie's take on the extraction shooter genre. And the next time you hear from us, we'll have a lot more to show, including gameplay. Thank you.
I genuinely cannot wait for that one. Right, let's keep things moving with a couple more trailers.
My creation has gone rogue. And I shall rebuild it. I might die.
Should've done a bingo card. Got a roguelike game. Got a Call of Duty knockoff.
I am the master architect.
Got a survival building game.
And I am in control.
Cryptical Path. That's a cool name though.
Welcome to Crash Labs. To explore a world filled with wonder, mystery, and some of these things.
It's kind of like a Bastion vibe.
And then slap them. Just slap it all. Except these. Best to make a home for yourself, but not just yourself. After all, if you're gonna make it on this planet, you'll need all the help you can get.
Crashlands 2 drops onto Steam in 2024. At number 9 on the Most Wanted is the product of a simple design philosophy. If you look hard enough, you can always find somewhere to put another skill tree, even if you end up making a second game in the process. Warm up that left mouse button because we're about to show you some Path of Exile 2. We travelled
Thank God.
all the way to New Zealand to speak with the team, climbing the highest mountains to visit their studio in Auckland.
Number 9, Path of Exile 2.
Should probably be a little higher in the list, but we'll take it.
It seems the old ways still hold some power.
That bear transformation looks dope. Alright, showing up more of the crossbow. Oh, for a second I thought this was an in-game cinematic. I'm like, oh no, that's just New Zealand. That's pretty dope.
Path of Exile 2 is basically our next generation action RPG. And one of the things we really wanted to make sure that we were doing with it is to make the action combat really, really excellent. We just want to make sure that anyone playing the game, you can play it like an action game, feels fun to play. We've added things like dodge rolls and like hack canceling, things like this. And it just means that the game just feels a lot better than it previously did.
A lot
as
of
well as
running
everything
away
else
from
that you
stuff in
expect
these
from a
example
sequel to
videos.
Path of Exile.
One thing in particular that sets Path of Exile apart is obviously the depth.
What a
but
terrible
in the
reward
itemization
plaque.
systems, crafting systems.
Looks like they
but also
printed
the
that shit
sheer number of
themselves.
quantity of monsters, encounters. Like we have over a decade of content that is going to be available in Path of Exile 2 as well.
For Path of Exile 2, we really want to keep the mechanics from Path of Exile 1 that are great, but we can now have the opportunity to rebuild them or restructure them in a way that is easier to understand and much more accessible for someone coming at it for the first time, and keep that depth there, either hidden away or much more natural to understand.
I think there's a big difference between depth and complexity. Path of Exile 2 in some ways is less complicated than Path of Exile 1 because we've simplified the sort of technical complexity around doing things like the way you socket skills and things like that to make it easier to understand. But at the same time, we're making sure that we keep all the depth in terms of character options and things that you can do. So everything is still there as far as like, what can I do to build my character? It's just that it is easier to do so because you don't have to be worrying, for example, about when you're changing your items that you're going to break the way your skills are working and things like that. So I think that actually new and regular players can tolerate a lot of depth. It's the complexity that we want to try and avoid. The dodge roll actually came about because we really wanted to be able to find a way to having some skills that took longer to do than other skills. But the problem with that is that skills feel really terrible if you start them and then you can't get out of them. So we really needed a way to make that interruption be possible. And
That is a good call to be able to, if you're going to make the skills take longer to cast, then without a doubt you need to have
where we wanted to make sure
a
that
way to
everything
cancel it.
was dodgeable. But previously we were just doing that by
Would
running
be the
around.
worst
But I think the dodge
ARPG
roll
of all
has actually
time.
changed a lot of things, and especially because, now that you can expect a player to be able to do that, it means that we can have the expectation and the balance as well.
We've done fresh design on everything. We've taken some elements from POE 1 in terms of monsters, specific monsters, and brought them over and kind of, because they were fun to play. Like, why not replicate something that is still fun to play? But of course, it's full fresh coat of paint. There are definitely new systems. I'd say a lot of the monsters are faster, for example, which is where dodge roll helps to come into play. We have secondary AI systems that allow the monsters to do skills while they were performing another skill. Much like how a player can dodge roll to interrupt a skill, a monster can now do the same thing. We have a lot more monsters doing interactions with the environment. They'll interact with the world more, a lot more spawning from things, a lot more, like in one of our areas, the Isle of Kin, we have monsters riding on top of another monster, and then
I mean,
if
that's
they get close, they
Diablo.
all jump off.
Right there.
There's a lot of design changes that have had to gone on to take into account the way that the new skill system works. So with something like the Mercenary now, we're developing how crossbows should work. We kind of really looked at that and thought, okay, how can we make crossbows just feel completely different than bows? If you look at a shooter, it's like pistols,
You turn them into
shotguns
guns.
and things like that. Like, what about those makes them different from each other? And so therefore, it makes the whole experience just feel so different than what a bow feels like now. You want that like pull the trigger and it instantly fires. That kind of instant response type of thing. And I think that as we approach each different character class, we're thinking like, how can we make the skills crosshair feels so different than every other class.
For a lot of the really unique skill sets like the crossbows, which are almost basically guns, there's a lot of work that's been done in other games to make those feel great that we had the opportunity to bring into Path of Exile, and there's a lot of lessons of what works well in a shooter that can work well in an ARPG if you do the work, get the animations right, get the timing right. We've done a lot of core system changes to make it so that it feels like you've got as much control as you would in a shooter-focused game. There's a lot of what have other games done well that we can bring into Path of Exile that no ARPG is really built on, because they don't have the crazy level of skill variety that we ended up having.
So we've got a live stream later today where we're going to be showing off 2 of our character classes. We're really deep diving into the mechanics, and we're really excited to show that. So if you're interested to know more about Path of Exile 2, then
I'm really going to show more POE 2 than I thought at the Affliction live stream.
The old magics, not to be feared.
Now, if you're anything like me, you leave your Christmas shopping to the absolute last second
Wasn't
and then
bad.
speedrun the entire thing in a single afternoon
Showed some
of
new
guest
stuff, some new
checkouts and
bosses.
regret. But what to buy the PC gamer in
Showed
your
more crossbow
life?
stuff.
Well, our good friends at Intel have a few ideas. Here's 5 of their favorite gaming deals this holiday season, all on offer now at Newegg. The Acer Predator Helios gaming laptop. Inside is an i7-13700HX CPU, an RTX 4070, 16GB of DDR5 memory, and 1TB of storage. We've been big fans of Acer's Helios machines for ages, and the new 16-inch Predator has fast become one of our favorite gaming laptops. It's the perfect combination of processor, graphics card, big 240Hz screen, and price. The 24-thread Intel CPU is mighty strong too, and the RTX 4070 graphics card also supports the magic of frame generation for a buttery smooth experience.
I'm curious
This is the Gigabyte Aorus 15
how extreme they're going to go with crossbows, because they already show it can basically be a machine gun.
700H CPU. RTX 4070 graphics, 16GB of DDR5
But I feel like
RAM,
they'll err on the side of caution
a 1TB Gen 4 SSD,
and make it incredibly hard to get the
15.6-inch
per hit
165Hz
damage
QHD display.
high enough
If your
to
needs
like
are a
melt
little lighter,
bosses.
this only slightly smaller 15-inch Aorus is a great option. You still get a 20-thread
going
Intel
on?
CPU with the same RTX 4070 GPU inside it and a high refresh rate QHD screen. It still packs a serious punch, and if you want serious frame rates, the MSI Katana 17 gaming laptop. An
Everyone got it, apparently.
i7-13600H
The delay
processor,
and the
RTX
desync.
4070 GPU, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, and a 1TB SSD. If you're looking for a lot of screen real estate,
Oh.
MSI 17-inch chonker will get the job done without costing a bomb. The 13th Gen Core i7 is a 16-thread chip. The machine still sports an RTX 4070 graphics card to handle all the newest releases, and you content creators are going to love the massive 32 gig of DDR5 memory this expansive laptop has to offer. Next, MSI's Aegis gaming rig, carrying the i7-13700F CPU, an RTX 4060 Ti, another spacious 32
Seriously?
gigs of DDR5 with 2TB of storage. So
The
yeah,
5-minute
you remember
ad.
that big black, but also throws in a little RGB gaming flair. Inside this monolith, you'll
What's this
find
closed
a
captioning
beefy
button?
24-thread Intel CPU and way more memory and storage than you'd usually find in a PC at this price. Finally, we have the 12th Gen Core and Arc bundle, an i7-12700K CPU and the Arc A770. With a $50 discount.
Ooh, an Arc
But there ain't
card.
much that can top the feeling of building a gaming machine with your own 2 hands. And these Intel Silicon bundles will allow you to do that at a bargain price. For us, pairing a 12th Gen i7 with an ASRock Arc 770 is a real smart money play, because these older CPUs share a ton of DNA with the latest 14th Gen chips. And this graphics card has only got faster since launch. Damn,
Yeah, that's how it
those are
works.
some powerful computers.
If
Let's
it
hope
wasn't,
Santa
that would
thinks
be pretty
we've all been
worrying.
nice this year, or at least he hasn't heard any of the things you've said in solo queue voice chat. Okay, our next game is a fun one. A blisteringly fast racer and a 1999 throwback you didn't know you needed. Racing into early access soon, this is Death Grip.
do I feel like the quality is so crappy?
Now that's what I legally can't call pod racing. The whole reason we're here today is because, yes, there are an incredible amount of video games, and we want to help you decide which ones are the most deserving of attention. But if you're watching and wondering, hey, why isn't The Elder Scrolls 6 one of the most wanted games? Well, let me explain. Our voting process for the most wanted list prioritizes games that are imminent and that we know lots of information about. The more confident we are in a game's release date, the more rewarded it is by our
Yes, we know Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out probably for 3 more years. Don't remind us.
Games that have been in dark mode for years and years. While theoretically enormous, they're frustratingly absent from the public eye. So
we can't put it on the list because it's probably not coming out for a long fucking time.
How many of these I can rattle through? Ready? The Elder Scrolls 6, Bioshock 4, which was announced 4 years ago, the eventual Cyberpunk 2077
It was?
sequel,
I didn't even know that.
Project 007 from the team that made Hitman that's probably going to be incredible, Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Come on, BioWare, let's see it. Death Stranding 2, Star Wars Eclipse, yes. The Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell remake. Oh, and that untitled Fallout-like RPG from New Blood Interactive. Arma 4, that League of Legends fighting game that looks really good. A Wonder Woman game. The new Indiana Jones game from the folks that made Wolfenstein. Good and Evil 2, which has been in development for something like 15 years. The
I was gonna say, I was like,
series
they're still doing that?
Crysis 4.
Crysis 4?
Well,
There's a lot of games there I didn't even know were coming out.
A couple of games that actually have gameplay footage.
Or were even being worked on. Even though half of them will be vaporware. That's kind of dope so far.
Our world is in chaos.
Aren't they all? Join the club.
The gods and their armies of the dead seek to rule over everything we call home.
And people are really running out of original
I'll be damned if I let
storylines.
that happen. My name is Nor Vanek. Survivor. Soldier. God killer.
Could you imagine being at a pitch meeting in a game development? Being like, alright, the world's in chaos, okay? There's gods. Some of them are okay, some of them are bad. And they want to take over the planet. So they're like, you know, sending stuff down, take over the planet, and you have to stop them. And everyone goes, fucking brilliant. Never been done before.
Time for a word from our good friends at Mad Mushroom.
Mad Mushroom is a publishing company that is going to be a little different from other publishing companies.
Mad Mushroom gives us the opportunity to enter the games industry while at the same time elevating and amplifying the message of hundreds of indie developers.
You are literally working hand in hand with influencers to figure out how to make your game as enjoyable as possible, not just to play, but also from a content viewing perspective.
If you're a developer and you're interested in us publishing your game, you can go to madmushroom.gg. Check it out. We're very passionate and we're very excited about what we're doing here.
Oh, that's the one started. Oh yeah, the OTK guys.
In a
Remember
city
Aspen
that never
talking about
sleeps,
that.
innovators like Kieran Short and the All Street New York City Collective remind us that with the right tools, like the Alienware laptop, the boundaries of art and technology can be pushed beyond our imagination. That's where Alienware's top-of-the-line computers come in. Introducing our real-life XP boost, the Alienware Power Boost Benefit. Scan our QR code or visit the site below to see how Alienware is undeniably stepping up the game.
In Islands of Insight, you awaken on a floating island as a seeker. Your goal is to explore a serene fantasy realm of ancient wonders and natural beauty, solve its mysterious puzzles, and unveil the secrets of the islands. We designed the world to be brimming with thousands of handcrafted puzzles, each of them carefully placed throughout the landscape. You might start off solving logic puzzles and then decide to search for hidden objects or go find some perspective or memory puzzles to take on. Designed by some of the best minds in puzzle design, our puzzles vary in difficulty and are thoughtfully crafted to be relaxing, challenging, and satisfying to solve for newcomers and seasoned puzzle fans. There is no linear path in Islands of Insight. You choose where to go, which puzzles to solve, and in what order, all at your own pace. You can solve puzzle quests to unlock new areas in the campaign, or explore
Why am I still
the main
streaming
island,
to 720p?
an expansive open world where most of the puzzles and secrets are found. Wander around the sublime
After this show, I
landscapes
gotta,
on foot,
before the
or
affliction
glide
thing,
above
I
them.
gotta change
Our
that.
shared world allows for seamless interactions and collaboration between players. You can interact with others for a bit of guidance, or you can play entirely on your own. This is your adventure. In today's fast-paced world, we hope Islands of Insight delivers a sublime escape for players looking to unwind. If you want to discover more, play our demo today on our Steam page.
In 1999, Homeworld brought RTS space combat fully into 3 dimensions. Now, 20 years after Homeworld 2, it's a very different world for real-time strategy, and an excellent time for a comeback. From Blackbird Interactive, this is Homeworld 3.
Number 8, Homeworld 3.
First batch of bombers rolling off the line.
Damn, is this going all the way to 3?
Looking good.
Homeworld 3 is a 3D strategy game set in space, but it's incredibly cinematically compelling.
When we were first starting up on Homeworld 3, we were thinking, what are some of the coolest spectacles you can think of in the universe that you would want to play in or around?
In essence, Homeworld 3 was really our original dream of Homeworld 2. The problem was, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the vision for Homeworld 3 was utterly impossible to make.
Massive coronal sun ejections, massive battles in asteroid fields.
Massive environments with these giant megaliths, you know, like gigantic Death Star-sized things that would create an interesting landscape for the player to move their units through. We had to wait 20 years before we could do that. So anyone who's interested in strategy or strategy-like games, we want to immerse basically anyone who loves science fiction.
For us, Homeworld 3 is a love letter to the fans of the franchise that have been with us over the last 20, 22 years. And with Homeworld 3, we want to just continue that amazing feeling that you got from playing Homeworld 1 back in the day and give that to you again.
Never played Homeworld.
You can play Homeworld 3 at the pace that you want to play. Tactical pause are going to allow you to actually just pause the game 100%. We have a classic controls, which you'll know and love from Homeworld 2. And then we have our modern control scheme. And that one is built around FPS controls that you know and love from the games that you've played before. So MOBA players, RTS players from other games will be able to quickly understand, okay, if I want to go somewhere, I just click on this element here. Cinematic combat is such a huge pillar to the franchise. We want you to be able to get in there, find the coolest camera angle, and enjoy the spectacle. For anybody who's never played a Homeworld game, they'll be able to get right into the action.
We wanted choke points. We wanted interesting strategic decision-making for the player.
When engaging in combat, terrain will actually matter. We have tunnels where you can actually take your fighters and frigates through those things, and that will actually remove you from the enemy sensors, so you can ambush them. You can actually use a larger ship to take fire for another ship.
I hope they do the
so in Homeworld 3,
POE patch notes tonight
focused
too.
a lot on what
I'm
wasn't already
super
available
curious.
for us within Unreal. We wanted to figure out
the more distinct views that the game would have that separate Homeworld from any other game, which is mostly the skybox and the lighting to give that feel of being in space. When you go into a nebula,
See
the
my
ship
poor Sanctum butchered.
understands how much coverage it has from that, which will affect the concept of fog of war in the game. We knew that we wanted persistent damage on the ships, and so then we focused on what that system would be like.
You'll see the history of your battles as you go through the whole campaign. Please wishlist and pre-order the game. We're super excited to have you.
A myth, a tale of a long-forgotten saint. For there was once an empty potential about to be birthed into existence. But the potential was greeted by short-sightedness, although nigh honestly covetous nor completely barren. It swallowed up everything that was given. Reincarnate as fit and proper, but never aware. Dictated from beyond by blessed ignorance and idle hands. Uji's solidarity, like a utopian hummus. Blessed be she. Life is not given, but received. And her worth lies therein. Blessed is she. Blessed is she.
Is it called Blessed Is She? Ultros.
Perhaps you've heard of an obscure little indie game called Stardew Valley? Or maybe the hundreds of cozy life sims it inspired. Whilst its imitators are busy trying to rebottle the farm life lightning, Stardew's solo dev is leaving the barnyard behind. From two editors at PC Gamer, Lauren Morton and Molly Taylor, let's hear more about this highly anticipated follow-up.
Number 7, Haunted Chocolatier.
Haunted Chocolatier.
Molly, you and I end up talking about cozy games on the PC Gamer Chatlog podcast quite a bit, which is why it's so exciting that its creator, Eric Baroni, is currently working on his next game, Haunted Chocolatier, where instead of us being on a farm, we're like running a chocolate shop instead, which sounds super exciting. We haven't seen a whole lot about Haunted Chocolatier yet.
Super
We've seen a
exciting.
brief trailer and we've seen some screenshots. We've seen like boss battles potentially. We've seen a bit of the new cozy town. We've seen some expanded combat over the Stardew Valley formula. So we're definitely anticipating hearing more about it as it continues development. So I'm really excited to see how Baroni is going to take that formula and evolve on it. And I have a pretty good feeling that Haunted Chocolatier is going to be setting the standards for cozy games for years to come.
Assistance required on the corner of 5th and 24th Street. A gas station has exploded and we require immediate medical attention.
Received loud and clear. We're on our way. ETA approximately 5 minutes.
Ambulance live.
The crusade is about to overwhelm us. The crusade is on the rise. I have to warn everybody.
Looks like Hades.
We must keep them from
Graphics.
reaching the enclave at all costs. Lorelei, it's been an honor fighting by your side.
Likewise, my friend. But we'll make it out of here. That's a promise. Fate brought us here. We did not come by choice. The silence that devoured my home. Please, guiding star, send me a sign.
Queen Lorelei of Erengard.
This whole like show is an example of why there being so many indie developers and so many games coming out. They're like everything just runs together, and it's like getting exponentially harder to get excited about stuff because it's all just starting to blend together. If you got to do something like crazy, it'll be like a big AAA title to stand out.
The Crusade.
Firstborn, starborn, even constructs. Deep down, we are all as one.
A vibrant blend of 4X management and card-based RTS battles, Songs of Silence releases in spring 2024. Next up on the Most Wanted Highway, a game that knows nothing beats a road trip. Just you, your car, the open road, and the interdimensional horrors bubbling forth from reality's cosmic wounds.
Number 6, Pacific Drive.
Is that the Ghostbusters guy?
Olympic Peninsula, the crown jewel of the Pacific Northwest. Its unmatched views and quiet solitude offer everything you need in the most beautiful place on Earth.
There is no cause for alarm. Take shelter in the closest pocket of stability in your area, and please refrain from thoughts or memories of home.
The chain of events were in plain sight. Strange accidents leading to the government's claim of eminent domain and subsequent seizure of the peninsula. The evacuation of 100,000 people and the attempt and abject failure at containing the rumors that spread like wildfire.
10 hours before Arda came to extract us.
I don't even look up at the sky anymore.
6.
Was she a myth, martyr, or monster?
5. Nothing had more potential than limb technology.
4.
And look what it did to the Olympic Peninsula.
3, 2, 1.
I have the distinct honor to introduce to you the American people. A new scientific frontier with a raw power, the potential is limitless. On this day, we welcome our Faraday future.
That actually looks kind of cool, not gonna lie. New gear, capes. Hey, looks how I feel right now. That way.
I just love that we're seeing smaller studios take a swing at Souls-like gameplay. Mortal Crux is coming soon to early access.
That was a Souls-like?
Coming up, we're nearly at the top of our list. It's time for a second helping of Helldivers as the most wanted countdown continues.
I think we're expanding what a Souls-like is a little too far on that.
Number 5. Helldivers 2. If there's one thing we value, it's interstellar combat with giant acid-belching insects.
I think they delayed
all
this
as the
game
fine
like a
soldiers
solid
of
year
Super Earth call in.
or something like that
Democracy.
recently.
Now shooting in
Because the people
third
that played it were
person,
like,
the Helldivers
it's actually kind of fucking
redeploy
boring
for
for how
co-op,
like
and our
action
panel of
it is.
experts can't wait to
And they were
win
like,
this.
ah, shit. All right, we gotta do some shit.
Helldivers 2 arrives on PC for some co-op Starship trooping on February 8, 2024. Now,
maybe
we
they didn't
turn
delay it
to the
that long.
unholy rebirth of a
Maybe I delayed it
2009
like 3 or 4
strategy
months.
cult classic. When Hell's Throne sits empty, its greatest devils march to war in this stylishly sinister game of ungodly grand strategy. Here's the latest trailer for Solium Infernum.
Set in the bureaucratic nightmare of hell, Solium Infernum is a political strategy game like no other. The Prince of Darkness has vanished, and to ascend to the Dark Throne as ruler of hell, you must prove to the infernal conclave that you are the most powerful archfiend of all. Equip powerful relics and cast rituals that can turn the tide of battle. Command legions, summon colossal titans, bribe minions, and attempt to outbid your fellow archfiends in the bazaar, Hell's blind auction house. You'd best learn the rules of Hell fast, and how to exploit them, archfiend. For it is malice and malevolence that win favor in Hell. Insult and extort your enemies, goading them into open warfare. Or worse, humiliation. Scheme in your sleep with asynchronous multiplayer, investing just a moment each day in games that can last for weeks. There are no loyalties here in the Abyss, and betrayal is the name of the game. Solium Infernum isn't called a friendship destruction simulator for nothing. Better to rule in hell than serve in heaven.
Which was the style at the time?
History is defined by moments when its greatest himbos collide. In January, the world will stand witness as Yakuza's very best boys unite for an ocean-spanning RPG adventure, and probably like some mahjong. Like a Dragon earned high marks from our voting crew. Let's see what Sega's got cooking.
Sega.
Number 4. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Use a game. I guess that makes sense.
Lately, our old friend, the Seiryu clan's been acting mighty suspicious.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Asuka-san. I'm sending you to Hawaii. There's someone there who wants to meet you. It's your mother, Akane-san.
What the hell's going on?
Freeze. Kiryu-san? High time you met the head of the Barracudas.
I've never played a Yakuza game. I feel like I'm missing out a little bit.
Barracudas are after me. Akane-san. They're
Maybe
after
one
her
day.
too, you know.
You seen this?
This is someone else. Ganja.
You trying to tell me there are Yakuza in Hawaii?
The head of Kazuma Kiryu. What better trophy than the head of a dragon?
I really, really need your help, like, right now. I'd take a bullet for a bud any day. Take cover! You can always turn a new leaf, but you can't turn back the clock. All you get is the precious time you're given. You ready for this, Kasuga? Let's do this.
This seems more serious than I remember the people telling me the Yakuza games were.
You haven't missed your chance at our gaming PC giveaway. Follow the QR code on screen now and complete our viewership survey. Once you're done, you'll be in the running to win a custom AC Mirage PC created by the talented guys at Blue Horse Studios and boasting a Core i9-14900K CPU from the show's presenting sponsor, Intel. Hell yeah, free computers. We're just
be ready to pay a
few
shit ton of
games away
electricity
from the
for how much
#1
that
game in
processor
our
sucks.
countdown. And from showing you
Sucks
some
up. Power doesn't
exclusive
suck. It's
gameplay
an
footage
amazing
I think you're
processor.
going to like. But first, here's another game from our wish list, Crown Wars: The Black Prince.
War, your great passion. How appropriate.
I could have sworn for a second that said Clown Wars.
We were here well before your kings, before your religions. We will be here after your empires. We are domination. We are power beyond imagination. We are blood, death, multitude. We are the terror that whispers in the dark. We are the chaos.
That's the American way.
And the order within chaos.
You may be many things, but we have hope.
Manage your forces for medieval tactics in Crown Wars: The Black Prince, coming March 2024. Sometimes PC gaming gives us games that empower us to make games. Our next studio visit is with the group behind Everywhere, an ambitious creation platform currently in development. Let's hear a little more about the big vision behind Everywhere.
Hey, my name's Adam Whiting, Assistant Game Director here at Build Rocket Boy, and I'm working on Everywhere. So it's a world of creativity and exploration and discovery underpinned by really high quality systems that hopefully inspire the next generation of games creators and world builders.
Hi, my name's Leslie Benaziz.
It looks like this is going to end at 3, which is good because it gives us 30 minutes until the POE stream.
Everywhere is a place where players can
I can
tell their
figure out why
stories,
I'm
they can
streaming in
build their own world.
720p.
There's shooting elements, there's driving elements, there's puzzles. Players can build UGC, take part in many different experiences, and they also play a AAA game called Mind's Eye. Tools, which we call Arcadia, they're a part
I upgraded my
of
internet quite a
Everywhere
bit, so
to
next
jump to a
week,
separate executable
when I
to
stream,
trigger them.
it should run incredibly well and do 1080p easily.
Arcadia, I think, is a really wonderful suite of.
I think Twitch can only stream at 6,000 kilobytes per second anyways,
I think that's really
so
important.
it's not
if you're
like
using
crazy.
one set of tools and then giving a lesser subset of that to players, they immediately realise the limitations of the toolset they've been given. Whereas we want everything that players play within Everywhere to serve as inspiration because they have the same tools that we use to build that experience.
So you could look at Utopia as the hub where you socialise. It's where you come into the games, meet up with your friends before you decide to go play the entertainment that you and your posse will like to.
It's a place that you arrive in within Everywhere, and then you can use it as like a launch pad, jump into any other type of experience. Go and explore the open world of the biomes surrounding Utopia City. You can jump into the district buildings that curate specific types of content, or you can jump into anything you want to through our portals or through invite some other players. But essentially, that's the kind of foundation that you use to kind of experience all these other interesting kind of facets and gameplay experiences.
The progression system of the game, the actual gameplay of Everywhere sits within the biomes, and then you've got these abstracted other areas which we call arcs, and they're pieces of UGC content that we build and our players will build, and they're held separately from the main world.
They're connected by virtue of the fact they're all part of this one ever-evolving, ever-changing world called Everywhere, and they're all connected, so using the same character and the same data to kind of traverse these different experiences, but they're not causally related or narratively related. You know, we were intended potentially take a very light touch with the narrative within the game, because we want this to be a world where players have agency and they have freedom to infer their own stories and their own world building within this space. And we don't really know what they're going to do.
I haven't seen a Vampire
Survivors
like.
Earnestly
It's kind of weird.
Move forward with them and help them build this world with us. If you were kind of able to take part in like a shared reality with other players of all different types, who had all different types of backgrounds and experiences and wants and needs, but they're all being fulfilled by the creative potential of one particular platform, I think that'd be a really exciting place to be.
The purpose of our alpha test, it's more of an infrastructure test.
The first people moving into this world are going to be able to check out our systems, allow us to do a lot of kind of testing of the back ends, all that kind of stuff. But they're also going to be kind of the intrepid explorers, the first into this brand new horizon, the first people to experience the tools and be able to build some really cool content with them. We're keen for everybody to get involved. You know, like I said, this is a game that's been built from the very beginning with people like you sat at home watching this video right now in mind. So I implore you, please come to everywhere.game, sign up for the alpha.
We're very excited to hear player feedback.
Time for a new world. Let's build it together.
Really curious what they put
We're
in number
closing
1.
in on number 1, but first, the follow-up to a roguelike with fittingly mythical acclaim.
Number 3.
Oh, shit.
Hades 2. After 3 years, and who knows how many deaths, we still can't get enough Hades. And apparently neither can its developers. In Supergiant's first sequel, Hades is imprisoned and the Titan of Time is loose. You're the witchcraft-wielding princess of the underworld striking out against the forces of Kronos. It's really something to imagine how Hades 2 could build on the slowly unfolding storytelling and elegant design of the first game.
Yeah, good luck following up that game. Oh, that was it. So Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't get there because there's no real any announcements, but they show 15 seconds of Hades 2 and it gets number 3.
You know, we don't think of the PC as the birthplace of platformers, but we continue to see outstanding 2D and 3D platformers release each year. Nice. Okay, Elden Ringers. However many boss kills you've got under your belt, the greatest test for every tarnished is, well, it's
The DLC?
The second greatest test is patience. And by God, FromSoft, haven't we been tested enough? Torrent needs his exercise. As we scratch at the locked door of the lands between for details, let's hear from some of our voters about what they're expecting from this expansion.
They got nothing on it. It's just a talk.
Number
Ugh.
2.
I'm not surprised they don't have
Shadow
anything on
of
it,
the
but
Erd Tree.
it's still kind of a bummer.
I'm extremely excited about the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. Personally, I'm hoping that they will introduce a new vast area to explore that gives you that same magical feeling as exploring Limgrave for the first time.
Oh, she played it on a
just something new and
on a
exciting
dance
around
pad.
every corner,
That's funny.
pretty much. In terms of boss fights, I'm hoping there will be bosses that are even harder than the base game. If we go back to previous From Software games, typically
Did she beat
we've seen
Millennia
that the best and
with
the
a
hardest
dance
bosses
pad?
are in the DLCs. Some examples would be Midir, Gale, Orphan of Koth, Sister Fried, Manus, I would definitely say. It would be thrilling to see if they could come up with a boss that's even more difficult than Millennia.
Yeah.
Story-wise, I think we'll get a greater understanding into Millennia's brother Mikola, which has been
Granted, she's
very
using the
much
blood
hinted
katana,
and talked about
and she
in
probably
the-
did this
the
when
main
it was
game.
stupid OP.
All in all, they can't release this DLC soon
But
enough.
still, that's crazy.
One final RPG featured in our show today is the return of a true cult classic. We saw this studio right at the beginning of the show with horror game Still Wakes the Deep, but they're also working on the second coming of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Nice. I think I played one of these like 20 years ago. It's an old series.
That you were there in Cairo. They called you the Slayer.
And what will I be to you, Willem? And to this lonely, forgotten warehouse?
You're exactly what he said you'd be. I guess that makes it easier.
Makes what easier?
What happens next?
Before we find out which game tops our most wanted list, let's
Here's some more
recap
ads.
the top 25 so far.
Oh god, even worse.
Still Wakes the Deep, Sword of the Sea, Holston, Persona 3 Reload, Harold Halibut, Star Wars Outlaws, Skate Story, Menace, Avowed, Dragon's Dogma 2, Frostpunk 2, Gloomwood, Grand Theft Auto 6, Tekken 8, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Marathon, Heart
I guess
of
the list
Exile
isn't as bad
2,
as I thought.
Homeworld 3, Haunted Chocolatier, Pacific Drive, Helldivers 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Hades 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Showed Erdtree. Erdtree.
We've ranked 24 of our 25 most wanted games, each capturing a different piece of our fascinations. We've had meditative sword surfing, demonic skateboarding, eldritch road tripping, whether it's the three-dimensional space strategy of Homeworld 3 or the ever-expanding universe of build crafting in Path of Exile 2, the most wanted represents the games we can't help but hunger for. But for our panel of experts, one game more than any other had a clear hold on our hopes. This game received the highest voting total from our panel of critics, developers, and content creators.
Can't think of what it would be.
It's the long-awaited return of a series that found wonder in jammed firearms and crackling Geiger counters, striking a balance between lethal tension and dystopic beauty that's never quite been matched. But also, this game is a testament to developer fortitude. This is a project that's weathered wartime, including office relocations and most recently, a severe studio fire.
So
Here
Bungie?
is our most wanted game.
Number 1,
Oh.
Stalker 2, Heart of Cornoble.
Wow. I mean, they're right on that. I
everyone.
totally forgot about this
I'm
game.
Again, the CEO of G Siegen World and the game director of Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Recording this video feels almost surreal as I accept the award for the most anticipated PC game.
And I am here to
Being
tell you
here
today it
proves
is
that
officially
several
cancelled.
elements much larger than myself aligned for this moment to happen. Firstly, it's about you, our fans. Many years ago, when the journey we had planned concluded, you refused to leave the zone. You enriched it with stories, love, and life, ensuring that legacy continues through the years. You've shown us that there are still goals to achieve and stories to tell. Your passion has guided us throughout this journey, and I can never express enough gratitude for that. I consider this award a symbol of your unbreakable trust. Secondly, it's about the journey itself. This path was extraordinary,
it's about the game.
marked by dedication, passion, and commitment from everyone involved to deliver an unforgettable
We don't care about the journey. People just want the game.
I feel blessed to lead a team like this, and I dedicate this award to those talented individuals. Stalker 2 stands as the biggest and most complex game in our lives. It was ambitious from the beginning, but evolved into an ultimate challenge. It holds extreme significance and a deeply personal connection for us, crafted amidst the most stressful conditions imaginable, including the pandemic, war, relocation, cyber attacks, life threats, and more. Additionally, it's about
death threats?
legacy.
Is a game coming?
Stalker began as a PC franchise and has always
Can
been
we
loyal
Stalker
to the
2 or
PC
I'll kill you?
community. Receiving this award at the PC Gaming Show feels like a confirmation that we will remain true to our vision and roots. This holds extra significance for me. I understand that discussing somber topics during a gaming show might not be ideal, but I'll take this opportunity to address the situation in my homeland. The war still goes on in Ukraine. Those currently fighting on the front lines, including GC employees, are real heroes. Not all of them were trained for this, they simply couldn't turn away. Stalker 2 was important for us even before the war, but now it stands as a national product, aiming to convey Ukraine's unbreakable spirit to the world. Today, we celebrate our victory here, while simultaneously striving for our homeland's ultimate triumph in the future. I am overwhelmed with the joy to recognize that Stalker 2 entered the final phase of development. Fellow Stalkers will soon reunite in the zone once again. Thank you all for this award. I assure you it holds far more meaning than I can express in a foreign language. Now I want to show you the story trailer we have prepared for this occasion.
Nice.
Please enjoy.
Likely mature sense.
You asked me about my good luck charm. Remember? It's an empty shell.
Decided to play soldier? With me? Dimitri and I were just discussing a certain puzzle we found in the zone. But we can't quite seem to get all the pieces to fit. Maybe you can figure it out.
It reminded me that we used to be puppets.
I took just one awkward step, and my whole world plunged into darkness. I'm sorry, Strider.
That was the day the psi fields were turned off. Suddenly, the voice of Monolith was gone. I felt as if I was awakening from a years-long coma. And through the scope, I saw the body of an unknown soldier fall.
We had a simple choice. Sit back and just wait for another super emission, or take a chance and get control of the anomalous energy.
That looks a lot like President Zelensky.
Only I didn't choose that path. Unlike you.
was cool. That was dope. Oh, wow. Q1?
Thank you for joining us in counting down the PC gaming show Most Wanted. And thanks as well to our sponsors at Intel for helping us put on this broadcast. And remember, all the games featured in today's show can be found on the PC Gaming Show Steam page at pcgamer.com/wishlist. The Most Wanted list will continue in 2024. The overflowing bounty of PC gaming does not quit, and neither will our judges. But before then, we'll see you back here in June 2024 when the PC Gaming Show returns. If I can find my way out of this bunker. They've locked me in and I think they're about to turn the lights out. Thank you again for watching.
Alright, I'm gonna end the stream for about 20 minutes. I gotta figure out why it's not streaming in 1080p. Get that fixed, probably grab a snack, and then I will be back for the big show. Alright,